I want to start out, Michael, with the idea of how do you find these opportunities? If this is something that appeals to people, but they don't know where to go to find how they could land these kinds of gigs, what would your recommendation be?
Well, we talked in the last episode about starting with podcast interviews. So, what are the top podcast interviews in your niche as a writer? Start there, and see if you can pitch them, send them an email with a 1 to 2 sentence description of your book and the value that you can bring to the show. But in order to do that, you've got to listen to the shows. You can't just go off and pitch. Nothing turns off a podcast host more than you sending them a pitch that does not match the format of their show. So you have to be a listener. And then I would also recommend starting with podcast interviews and things of that nature, just so you can build a track record and then see if you can get permission from those hosts to use clips or to even repost the interviews on your own channels so that you can start to build a repertoire. And then what I also recommend is putting together what I call a speaker demo reel. So take clips of your best moments from 2 or 3 different interviews, put them all together into a nice 1 to 2 minute video. And then that becomes your basis of a pitch to organizers of virtual or in person events. So you can reach out to someone who's organizing, an in person event that maybe you want to speak at. And you can say, hey, I noticed you're looking for speakers for this event. I would love to speak. Here I can speak on these different topics. By the way, here's a video that shows, my speaking ability and what I can bring. It's like a business card, and it also shows the organizer what it would be like to work with you, right? So they can see how you look, they can see how professional you present yourself. Maybe if you've got some slides, they can see what those look like, and that just becomes a really good calling card, especially if you're trying to land your first gig. Now, naturally, once you've landed that first gig, then do the same thing. Just take clips, if you can get them, from that event and weave them into your speaker's demo reel. And over time, then organizers start to speak by word of mouth and they start to find you organically. And then that's how you can start to get more opportunities in the future.
Yep. And if you don't have actual interviews that you can pull for your demo reel, then I think it's a great idea to create one, not with the intent of fooling anyone into thinking that it's a real interview, but give a 1 to 2 or 3 minute version of the presentation you want to give in a format as much as possible like the one you want to pitch. So if you want to pitch in-person events, then set up a space that makes it look a little bit stage-like. If you wanna pitch yourself for virtual events, then that's much easier. You just, record yourself on a Zoom, and that provides all the same information you're saying, are you comfortable on camera? Are you comfortable speaking? Do you know your topic? Is your, presentation professional? And so on.